Hello, friends and lovers. Welcome back to Hades 2. We're going to do an aspect of Medea run, probably my favorite aspect for this current patch, and we're going to do 32 fear in the underworld against Kronos. Why are we going to do that? Well, I get a few people asking. Some people, make requests like the strongest build, or can you do 32 fear? Can you do 50 fear? And I say no thanks. And kind of going to try to combine these. I'm not going to really over-explain Medea, because you've probably, if you watch a lot of my videos, you're probably sick of me over-explaining aspect of Medea here too much, but I'll give a very quick breakdown and see how we do against 32 fear in the underworld. I think I'm happy with this current setup. I really don't want forfeit in the underworld. I'm not really a big fan of something like wards, but you probably could take it here instead. In fact, now that I think about it, we probably should be taking wards over all of that pain, is what I'm thinking here. Or maybe, yeah, you could consider the dead too. Well, I don't know. I think I'm pretty happy with this. I've done something similar before. Let's reroll this. We start with Zeus's keepsake, of course, because we want his special, and let's see how we can do. It's been a while. I haven't really pushed the fears this patch, or really most patches of the game yet. I've been having a good time mostly speed running the game more than anything if I'm going to do a kind of grind, I guess you could say. So that's sort of where I'm at. We don't have minus healing, so chaos is probably okay, although also maybe not a good idea. I do have to pause buffer from time to time. And I guess I'll briefly explain what that is, because I probably do it a lot without you even realizing it. Ooh, wow, the first one was pretty damn good. We like that. That's for sure. I'll pick up all this stuff, even though it's not actually helpful. So pause buffering means that we hit pause and think about the options before us, because it stops the timer from flowing in the top right, thus preventing Vow of Time from damaging us potentially as much. Okay, yeah, I'm not supposed to cast. Muscle memory popping in. So yeah, with all these extra explosions, something like... Damn it, it did it again. With all these extra explosions via all the shells that we have, I don't think wards should be much of a problem here. This is probably my most used aspect. Gile is going to help us out a little bit, it looks. By quite a stretch. We like palms on the special here. We've done mostly speedruns again, like I said. That's sort of my background with the Hades games. And that's what I've always enjoyed. And while I did do some very high fear in Hades 1 from time to time, it was never as much of a passion for me as some other things. Now, this isn't a speedrun, to be clear, but it's just sort of explaining myself. Ooh, Day-and-Age Dagger is pretty nice for such a low price. Can we agree? In fact, we can Archaic seal it, perhaps. I probably want to look here. Probably don't do Arachne,
I do have gold to spare.
is what I'm thinking. This is quite expensive, but thus we can wait a very long time to have to worry about an attack boon. Aphrodite's attack would be fine. Hestia, you'd probably just throw in the cast, if anything. But she's not a very high priority, to say the least. With things more expensive, yeah, I don't think so. I think we actually do Hef. We do Hef. Curse is over, right? Yeah. Whew, damn. Just because for any difficulty or fear where you're kind of worried about, taking a lot of damage. Well, I guess worried about losing / dying, right? Any sort of fear where you're worried about that, Hef and Demeter have a pretty high weight if you're just having like a fun run. I did actually take Gale out for once tier 2 to block some damage. I think I'll even roll again. Nice, and there's our mid condition. Popping off. Popping off. Gotta love a mint condition. So we can actually tell that this is an Artemis room ahead of time, because when we first walked in, the timer is paused in the top right. Lots of little things like that in the game that you can notice. Many, many small details. Throw in a mega attack to activate the Huntress, and boom, there we go. I don't know, some people will ask me questions about, ooh, the Killing Stroke? It's probably Killing Stroke. I don't hate Vital Signs. It's not Shadow Pounce. Not unless we knew that we had Possessed Array. I guess I'm gonna take Vital Signs in case of Possessed Array, because that Primed Magic could be useful. I think I will do a trial here. even though they are slower and more dangerous. I do the Zeus one first. Epic static shock or a common double strike. It's tough here. I don't value static shock as highly in this build. However, maybe we should. So we're locking out the other one, whatever we take here is the downside. And double strike is generally extremely good with this, whereas static shock is kind of okay. But with wards on, it might push static shock. So we might just actively avoid possessed array since we're probably not going to be able to function our magic as much as we want. I mean, static shock certainly isn't bad, but compared to what you could get going with double strike... Oh, wow, that was quick. Okay, I don't know why I went to the right over there. Okay, let them try to get out of the circle. Okay, note to self, never do a Hef trial ever again in my life. Oh my. So we did lock out a bunch of Hef boons, but we took them into condition, so we could get something good. So I don't really want the attack, nor do I want the cast. The cast is probably going to be an origination activator. These are all epic, but they're all kind of useless, to be honest, or just not ideal. I don't really like Smithy Rush either. Wow. And then I get nothing. You know what? I'm just going to accept Molten Touch. We are mostly hoping for Trusty Shield from him. I'll try to do this real quick. I'm going to say it's going to be worth it. I know that whole Anvil Ring seems like, you know, you might as well just take it. You know, it's damage now versus hoping for damage later. It's like, Origination is in a small amount, whereas Anvil Ring is very much so a small amount. We don't actually need... This isn't a for now style build. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? As I say it out loud. What do I mean for that? You know, there's games out there like Slay the Spire, and maybe there's certain difficulties here in Hades, and Hades 2, right? Where you would have to think that way, where you need something to survive for now. In this game, you'd really need very, very little. Honestly, this one special boon for this build was probably enough in some ways. We'll check this. Yeah, that's kind of whatever. It doesn't help the blitz damage. No Hestia, go home. You could throw her on the cast. We're probably just going to go for Demeter, though. Okay, static shock goes up. That's fine. Let me think. We cannot get success rate because we don't have a chance boon. No, wait, we do with Vital Signs. Do we care that much about success rate for this? Maybe not. Maybe not as much as I think. I don't hate Nitro Boost, but I don't love it either. Interesting. I'm not actually sure what you should aim for from Hermes here, then. Might be a weird mean streak. I guess it's just not really worth rolling with it. Whatever it is, that should have a priority here. Okay. I mean, the Danae dagger was pretty nice, as we can see already. We didn't even get a hammer yet. Thus, the power of Aspect of Medea. Is this a situation where are we to assume that Medea is going to get nerfed? Or maybe even the skull in general at some point? It's definitely possible. Hello. All right. Went pretty smooth, I would say. Health is fine. So, we're not really going for the strongest build, but probably something just very consistent here. So I think consistency will dictate that we want... Ooh, the Demeter. Oh, Kronos is here, creeping me out. Wait, come back. Daddy. Granddaddy? Pearl is doing that weird thing again. No. Let us move on.
Down I go.
You can just do Demeter. The hope is to get her cast. Don't really care about anything else. We got to sort out a hammer here soon. Thus, our defenses are set up. I'm still obviously not in a rush to get an attack boon, but it does only last through this zone, so if we get something we like, we will take it. We still only have the two gods, right? Hef and Zeus? I believe so. Yeah. Go Gale. Wonder if Gale is actually better at least this sphere when I don't have pain cranked up all the way versus something like the Forg just for the max health. I don't think you really want Rocky that much in this situation. All right, let's pause to think about this. We definitely don't want Selene. Do we treasure money over max health? Not that much. The more you turn up the debt vow, the less you get kind of diminishing returns on money, right? Because money is less valuable per dollar, I guess is one way to look at it. So taking it as a room reward just doesn't feel as good when it just doesn't give you as much, right? Oh god, these were not ideal. More max health, I guess. Here's our Demeter. Beautiful. Hey, it's going pretty smooth so far, in terms of time even. I know, the speedrun in me has to look. Wow. Wow. Maybe this is a speedrun at the end of the day. Is there anything else I'd want from her? I know Plentiful Forge is pretty nice once you get up in the higher fears, right? I think it heals through the vow, which I don't even have on anyway, I think. The only thing I'm considering is if I bother to rarefy this, or do I hold out for a second Demeter boon, but I don't think there's really... A, it's probably not likely I get another Demeter boon. B, I don't know if I really care about the rarity of other Demeter boons either. Oh! So Aphrodite could fill in the attack slot now for us. Game, please, relax. We already have Origination via the cast now, so I don't really care about Glamour Gain. In fact, you actively don't want it, because I want to spend magic and not use it. Okay, so we take a minor debuff, but it's going to be very, very worth it after this zone's over, right? And thus we are set. We are rolling. Use one little Omega attack there if we can. So this is like a very typical trying to beat... Well, I guess if you're struggling to just win, this is like a really good strategy to have. Demeter's cast, mid condition, and just like some offensive stuff. You know, I can't really speak for every single thing. Okay, you know what? We're going to do the weird thing. We're turning this into a vague speed run. In that case, I got to start doing the special thing. So we activate this, then we run away.
You know something of time and dream.
And then when it hits 0%, it's over. You don't get the reward, though. So rip that Zeus spoon. Okay, nothing there. We are too broke. Okay, so I do want to throw out an Omega attack if I can. You want to try to kill her first if you can. Nice. Because she runs away. I don't have enough magic for another. Woo! Okay, hun. Alright. 32 fear. 4 minutes, 23 seconds. Can't complain. We got pretty lucky with some of the rooms. We got an Artemis. We got Narcissus. That's pretty good so far. We took a Chaos Gate, if I recall correctly. Okay, well, we don't need a heal. You could go for more Hef boons now. If we really want to do more damage, well, Double Strike is gone. We can get Romantic Spark, though. But without Double Strike, I don't know if you really want to get into it, truth be told. Not sure if you really care that much. There's, like, the Hera stuff, but that's kind of hard to do. We could get that. Okay, so if we actually want to make this speedy, we should actually be doing the Droplet, probably. Well, also, we should be doing White Antler for the final zone as well. Which means you also want success rate. If we want to do that, then we kind of need Trusty Shield from Hef. I do have a lot of rolls, though. Okay, so let's do the Droplet. It's kind of coming back to me. I'm a bit rusty since I haven't been playing this game on stream very much lately.
To the fields.
We didn't lock out Trusty Shield. We can re-roll the mini-boss in this zone. Horny Fields is such a strange zone because it's basically the same thing every time. Minus what rewards you get. Okay, we only got a 2 reward chamber here, which is nice to see when we're trying to go quickly. Might actually make use of this armor here, too. Okay, hello, friend. This was probably, like, if you're trying to speedrun 32 Fear, this is not the setup that you'd want, generally, I believe.
Show me the way.
Okay. Forgot to use some magic here. Uh-oh, I'm locked in. Okay, then we check what we have here. There's Hef. The Romantic Spark, very powerful duo.
Let's begin.
Come on, get over there. No! God, that was annoying. She hit me with that slowdown or whatever. Trusty shield, let's go. Okay, that's nice. Now if Hubris keeps kicking off. Pom 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 would be nice to buff up our special. Can't imagine these elements would be useful, but just in case. More from Hef. 1 to 3 boons from the previous night. I don't remember what our previous run was. I think it was the Demeter run, actually. Wait. Damn, not what I was hoping for. I do not want Lightning Lance at all. You've probably heard my disdain for that enough at this rate. In Heartbreaker, it isn't going to matter. We're at 0 magic. So I guess we take Arctic Gale. That's too bad, huh? We're hoping for the Demeter Legendary in particular. I don't have a single hammer yet, by the way. I think I skipped... No, I couldn't afford one at a shop, but that was pretty much it. Alright, I know it's worth it. It's worth it to take Selene, which is going to be useless here, I think. Nice drop on the cast there, Dan. Oh, we're not going to use any of these. Oh, maybe I should have done Moonwater. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. Hopefully the exit's up there, too. Whoa, okay, chill. Thank you. It does take a bit of a rhythm to get down the whole dash into special thing. Ooh, Nemesis is really lucky.
To think I could...
Nemesis in this zone is ideal. You'd want to see her here. Because these combats tend to last longer. She pauses the timer. To be clear, that's why. Hey. You can get her in other zones too. It's just not usually as good. Well, damn, they hit me. Now, how much does she want to behave after this? Because she tends to kind of run around here a bit and take a while. Okay. No. 0 magic, possessed array. Damn. Colossus Driver is okay here. Still not ideal. You kind of just go to the shop, the shop here, because it pauses the timer. And even though the other chamber has a free reward, the pause timer is just more important. There's not much else from Hef we could get, right? We don't really care about Tough Gain. Karen has dialogue?
Swiftness. You mean the
Oh, because I have the
material
droplet.
my lord. A gift from Hermes himself. No better way to reach your finest wares as soon as possible.
Interesting. Raw. Hef. The Hef. The Hef. The Hefmeister. Martial art. We could get. Probably a decent likelihood of it even. At this rate. We cannot get Master Conductor, which actually probably would have been nice. I think we locked out pretty much everything else I was gonna say. I mean, martial art, I guess, is something. Just because we're probably not gonna have many other opportunities to spend here. Alright, remember we start with Mint Condish. I have no magic to spend. Aim for the dog's hands, kinda. It's the best way I can describe how you'd hit this thing. Not gonna have Mint Condition up now, though. Blocked. Blocked. Gale coming in hot. Kill it. Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. I think this is about the time and place where people start asking, but how do you do this much damage? It's really just a combination of the boons, you know? I'm sliding my thumb across the attack and special button to really ram into the opponents. But I mean, Blitz is just really strong with this, coupled with a strong attack. That's really all it is. I mean, it's all the little things added up together. It's not really just one thing I can point to, I guess. Because it all adds up. Let me think here. Are we really going to do White Antler? I guess we're really going to do White Antler. Hell yeah. Controller, calm down. Yeah, my controller is being weird lately.
Here goes.
I think it's my controller, at least, because I haven't had a problem before. All right, so we're down to 30 max health. I took so much max health early on, too. I like it how this started as, oh, we'll do it like a safe 32 fear run. And now here I am. We do have mint condition and trusty shield. That's something at least. And we do have Gale.
Whatever brings you to my doorstep once again, my girl.
So we have some stuff to protect ourselves. No! Of all things to hit me, right? Really want to keep up the Gale stuff. Hello? Okay, you do not do any extra chambers here. Yeah, not very lucky in terms of hammers too, which is interesting. Come on, hit him, hit him. Whoa, that was a really nice chamber. It was just 2 big enemies, that was it. Hell yeah, let's go. I just realized we forgot the fig leaf since you would definitely do that on 32 fear, right? Trying to avoid that. Come on, hit it, hit it. Yeah, baby. Let me out. Yeah, you definitely fig leaf for the second zone versus whatever the hell I did. Oh, please hit him, hit him. Still no max magic to spend to activate the Huntress. Okay, my darlings. Oh! Crap got me. How we doing? One more regular chamber. Oh my god, they're huge. Boosted ignition would have gone really hard for our hammer here too, because we have quite a bit of attack percentage. So I guess you could. I've never seen Daddy on the final chamber here, so there's really no downside to going to him since the timer stays paused here. There's a vague downside to taking his door.
Nicely done.
And kind of delaying it, you know? The longer you linger in a biome, the harder the enemies get, the more enemies you get, the beefier the enemies are, etc., etc. Not to mention you're kind of making your way to an additional exit. Maybe it's life tax here, right? Yeah, gotta be. Might actually help. Although with pain turned up, probably not so much. I'd probably just be dead if we did, if anything. Let me think. I'm thinking we do actually just do Glamour Gain. You could go... Oh, man. All these are quite takeable. I do have rolls, so you can go for higher rarity. It's kind of just about... What's the most meaningful here? This gives us 20% damage pretty much the whole time. Otherwise, I'm dead. But 5 power with this is actually quite strong. The aspect gives you plus 90% attack damage as it is. We have additional from Chaos, so any amount of power is really good. I think I'm going to be super greedy here and roll it. This is 28%. But this is 7 base power. I'm not sure, honestly. Spend the money. Okay. I'm here, Kronos. We're back. I don't go to the underworld as much as I used to. Not at all. I see a lot of people talking about White Antler and how, oh, it's too strong or something like that, but I don't know. Do a lot of people actually take it? How often do y'all take White Antler in reality? Like, I know there's a very specific subset of people that do use it. You know what I mean? But I don't think I can't imagine that a lot of everyday players are using it a ton. Kind of a nice moveset, except it's a little messy with Medea. Okay. Well, that went pretty smooth. Gale got used up, but I believe we still have some armor. Probably could have snuck in some more attacks, huh? Oh, that was weird, huh? Good night, Granddad. There we go. Life tax didn't even get used. Wow. I mean, I love this aspect. It's obviously really strong. How do we do here? Okay, how do we do? Special actually did a lot. Blitz did not do as much as I would have guessed. And Chain Lightning actually did do quite a bit. Wow. It's kind of interesting. But I guess with the beefed up attack from Chaos, that start that we had from... what the heck was that called? Danade Dagger. And then we had the Artemis one, right? I mean, sorry. We had the Aphrodite one. It makes sense. It makes sense. It's still a really good idea to start with the Blitz, I think, here, to help yourself out. It's going to be very good early on, but a lot of times you do wind up sort of attack-oriented. I don't know, it kind of depends how things go, honestly. But yeah, I mean, kind of a vanilla build, not even a lot of boons to our name, but again, at 32 fear, what can you expect? Yeah, I do think Secret Crush was the take there, but there we go. Wow, what's his name? Cerberus actually did the most damage to us, believe it or not. Well, that was kind of fun. I don't know if it was helpful or informative, but at least I was entertained. One hammer, too, huh? Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, if you have build suggestions, let me know down in the comments. Like, subscribe, you know what's going on. I shall see you in another video.